What is up, boys and girls? Back with another episode of All Day Insider. We're going to be talking fantasy football today. We're going to be telling you what quarterbacks to get and which ones suck. That's what we're going to be doing today. So we got the squad. We got Phoenix. We got Blaze. We got me. And we got Lily.
Hello.
What up? Yeah. We're joined by a special guest. We got one of my friends, one of my good friends hanging out with us today. Going to be talking a little ball. How you doing, Lily?
How about you?
Doing all right. So, how you guys been doing? I missed last week. I just forgot that this thing was a thing for a minute now. I don't know what I was doing, dude. It was such a weird time. I don't know.
It was an engaging movie.
Yep, we had some Where's Waldo moments with Where's Roy.
Yeah, I know. I heard about that. I'm sorry, but it'll be all right. We'll all be okay. It'll be fine.
So I figured out all the buttons to use, and we made it through.
Yeah, you just click stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do.
One of them's going to be right sooner or later.
Yeah, right. So I thought let's talk about some fantasy football, right? We got some stuff going on all day, but it's off season. You know, it's doing its thing. We might tie in some of that with what's going on, but I thought I could start to the off season and go position by position each week, and we can break down the players and who we think is going to be worth having. You know, so
who's going to be useful?
Who is going to get you the points and get you the W? By the way, I did very well in fantasy football, so listen up.
That reminds me, I need to get paid in a couple of my leagues.
Yeah?
It's been over for like 3 months.
Yeah, I know, but the ones related to Discords and everything, they take a while to pay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've noticed most fantasy leagues, like if they aren't super serious, people like pay in at the beginning. And then if they notice they're losing, they just like forget. And then also that comes with they just forget they have to pay. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like a weird thing if it's not serious, and you have to gather all your money eventually. But the best thing to do is have someone pay and put it in a little pot and then hold it, and then they pay out. That's the best way to do it for sure.
They actually have places like that where you can actually get interest on everything, and it's
really.
Yeah. Oh. One of my buddies used to do that. He used to run all the fantasy leagues. He'd pool all the money early. We do it mad early, and if you hold it in their account for 6 months, you actually get interest on the money. I mean, I don't know what they were doing with it. I wasn't even asking, but
dude,
I thought it was an interesting.
Blaze. Do you remember one episode when Phoenix said he had a bunch of cell phones in a bag somewhere?
Yes, I do remember that.
Does that not automatically remind you of that?
I still have them. You want me to bring them out again?
No.
I bring them out and I showed you.
He's like, you got to have 4 phones. That's why. Whatever he's talking about, that's why.
I said with
4 phones,
with multi-accounting, you need to have 4 or 5 separate phones and everything else.
Jesus.
Hey, if you're gonna do it right. Cover your bases.
It's a mess, dude. He's a bookie for fantasy football leagues now that holds money in weird accounts. Who knows what's happening?
Hey, all this shit exists.
I know it does. I'm not like I've seen where they put them in like short-term, like not IRAs, but like short-term bank accounts that gain interest, and then they like use that as like their holding fee, and they pocket it at the end. They're all kind of weird.
I don't know what you're talking about. Next, you're going to tell me that like rereferees are paid off to like.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that again. Absolutely.
You just tried to shoehorn that one in there.
And that's not going to work. Nope. All right. So let's get to it. We got a lot of quarterbacks to go through. So let's just get straight into it. We'll start at the top. We took the 12 most reliable sources and we slurried them all up, and we built a list of the top 45 quarterbacks for next year. Now, I know there's only 32 teams. You may be a little bit confused. You'll see why. There's some rookies on here that haven't played yet, and then their potential replacements, all kind of stuff. So
I erased Brady off the list too, who came in at 32.
Yeah. Yeah, we did have him at 32nd, but it didn't make sense. So we're not doing that. But let's go down the list. Let's start. If we agree, disagree, whatever, why? Number 1, Josh Allen, Buffalo.
I think you got to go with Mahomes as number one just for consistency basis there. Maybe Josh Allen at the end of the year has more total points, but they're going to come in more waves as opposed to Mahomes, who's just going to give you solid 30 points
every week.
every week.
See, my opinion on that too is like the way I look at it is I had Mahomes in one of my winning leagues and Josh Allen was popping off all year like he does, right? It's fine. He got there. But in the crunch time, when you're in those last few weeks, that's when Mahomes like balls out every time too. Like he's so good to have in those clutch weeks that you have to win.
Yeah, he provides that way better floor. Like, do you want that guy that potentially could give you 12, 15 points from your quarterback position, or the guy that you know is going to give you 25, even if it's not, he won't give you that 45 game.
Plus, Josh Allen sort of got exposed this year.
A little bit.
He wasn't near as good as I made him out to be, I don't think. I mean, he's good. He's definitely, I would say, like top 5, second elite quarterback, but he's not Mahomes.
At the end of the day, you can't go wrong with either of them. I mean, shit. I won leagues with Kyler and Fields.
Yeah. I've seen some pretty crazy
If
combinations.
I had Allen or Mahomes, I would have been like just happy with either of them. But no, Mahomes is more consistent, though. I agree with that, though.
Willie, if you get picked Mahomes or Allen, first pick, it's quarterback picking time. Who do you take?
Mahomes.
Yeah, every time.
Probably. I mean, more than anything, the Bills are not consistent enough. So, like, even if Josh Allen is playing his best game, like, who knows what the Bills are doing to make sure that that score runs up.
Yeah.
Where, the Chiefs, you're always going to see them try and, like, put on a show on offense. And so when you talk about fantasy points, you're always going to have a better bet on Mahomes.
Yeah, I like that too. Like, that's a good point. Allen could be doing everything he can, but his potential number one next year is Gabe Davis. Like, I mean, I'm not saying anything because Kelsey is really all the Chiefs have, but that goes back to our point. Like, it's also Mahomes. Like, he just does it. It doesn't matter who he has. So we'll see. I mean, things can change. We can get Josh Allen could pick up some crazy receiver. You never know. But for now, I go Mahomes too. And speaking of that, Mahomes is in second. So we don't even have to talk about that. I mean, I think he's the clear-cut one as well, but according to numbers, he's not. Third, Jalen Hurts.
Is anyone taking Allen over or Hurts over Allen?
No, I don't think so. I don't even like Hurts at third.
Well,
I like Hurts. I'm a Hurts fan, but I still think that's high.
I'd be taking Burrow over Hurts for sure.
All day.
And I think I can make a case for Burrow over Allen.
Me too, actually. Like, if it were my list, it'd go Mahomes, Burrow.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think Burrow still has his best seasons ahead of him.
Agreed.
Have we seen the best out of Allen? Maybe.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Gabe Davis at number one? Oh, I was just saying Stephon Diggs is a question mark. Who even knows if he's gonna be around? I don't know. He whines quite often, and I'm sure he's gonna be there. I'm just saying. That was just a hypothetical. That's a hypothetical. Diggs, of course, is the one right now. Yes. Genesis makes a great point there too with Hurts. Is Philly runs the ball way too much for Hurts to consistently be on like top of scoreboards. It's not even that he's a bad quarterback, right? Or that he doesn't belong up there. It's just not their play style.
6 points per rushing touchdown, though, puts him up on that list, though. Because if he gets double-digit touchdowns every year and he does that quarterback sneak like they've patented, I mean,
that is wild.
That is 6 guaranteed touchdowns throughout a season extra right there from the 2 or the 1 with just that. So I mean, think about that. That's 36 extra points. That's like 2 extra games for an average quarterback, or 1 elite game extra for an elite quarterback. So don't knock. I don't know. I can't knock Hurts. If he stays healthy for an entire year, he's going to put up some crazy points.
How do we talk about the Eagles just running that quarterback sneak on first, second, and third down and seeing if anyone can stop it?
Well, they'd be able to do fourth down.
That's the play call.
It'd be like Air Force Wishbone, like circa like 1991 with D.
You just snap it, push him 2-3 yards, and then just do it again over and over and over until they slow it down, right?
Be like an
Nah,
armed forces game.
It'd be weird. And yeah, I did see that they could ban that sneak based off just that one game.
Oh,
Especially.
the push.
Yeah,
Anything that's fun.
it was wild. All right, so fourth we have Burrow there.
Yeah,
I think-
Burrow's number 2 for me.
Yeah, I think Burrow. I mean, just by pure numbers, he slings the ball.
He's got the receivers.
Yes, he has the squad for sure. I don't know how long they can lean on any run game. They just have to score so much is the problem, and he does that. He throws 50 times a game sometimes. So I think he's definitely up there a little higher.
I see him getting 5,000 plus yards next year, and I mean, easily 30 plus touchdowns.
So
Yeah,
so we got Mahomes, Burrow, then Allen.
That's what I like. I think I would put Hurts 4.
Yeah. Can you go wrong with any of the top 4 though? You gonna kick any of them off your team?
I don't know if I see much of a difference between Hurts, Lamar, Herbert, and maybe Lawrence. Like I think that's
Think about when you're actually drafting these guys in a PPR, which what this is calculated on. You're drafting these guys in fantasy in what, late second? Starting?
No.
Fourth
Like,
round is 1
late-
QB or super flex.
1 QB, like late 4th.
Yeah, that's when you look at taking.
Now
the
I could reach like early 4th for Mahomes, maybe, but that depends on who I have first 3 picks. And I mean, there's no way I take any of them 3rd. Like, there's no way.
I would take a
But-
running. I would take a running 1/3. I would take because I've actually done that where I've taken second. Like I've done it with Lamar Jackson before. But
I think if you're
also done-
drafting and the first one goes, I would draft Hurts early. Like if Mahomes goes, I want to get Hurts pretty immediately off the board because even though he's not my second, I also know that means like where you're gonna fall. I'd rather have him.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah. So you're saying like once the quarterback run starts, you got to jump.
You got to
on
get
it
that.
pretty
You got to
quick.
get that. You got to get that multi-threat quarterback. So you got yourself covered. So if you do that, and then later you get like a Carr or a Cousins or somebody like that who can throw for yards, and then you could actually play some matchups and kind of like that throughout the year.
Yeah, I can see that.
I gotta say I disagree.
What are you disagreeing with, my guy?
You're disagreeing.
Oh my god.
I especially in 1 QB, like I'm not a wait till the very end, but I'm find the last of a tier type of guy. So
you're saying let Mahomes and Hurts and all them fall to the people who are going to jump on them too early and then pick up like we have next. We have Fields, Lamar Jackson, Herbert, Lawrence, all in order.
so like I
Grab
would
one of those bottom of that top tier kind of player.
so like let's say it went Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, and the next guy on my list was Hurts. It probably wouldn't be, but let's say it was him. I would look to grab Hurts. And then if I didn't get him, I'd be looking to grab into that next tier. So let's say it's Herbert, Lawrence. I should be looking at the list.
Yeah, how does all right? So Justin Fields.
Fields,
is fifth.
if Fields gets a wide receiver, I'm a fan. But like, so let's say I'm looking to take the last guy in that tier, sort of thing, and just like try and balance out my picks that way, just to put perspective on it. Kind of the philosophy I have. So this was a dual or super flex league. My starting quarterbacks: Geno Smith, Daniel Jones. And then I rotated in, I can't even remember the guy's name, the Houston quarterback.
Davis Mills.
Davis Mills. I flipped him in there at finish first. So, like, if you're playing matchups, paying attention to kind of who's getting in the groove, like, I don't want to say you don't need a quarterback, but I'm looking to get those elite guys. Like, my wide receivers in that league carried me. I had Jefferson, Diggs, DK, Michael Pittman, and
Yeah.
so like what I guess the decision you got to make is what are you giving up, right?
Yeah, I mean that's true. I mean it also heavily relies on pick order too. I mean there's a lot of factors in there, but I mean I'm in the same boat. I got Mahomes in one league, but then I just didn't draft a quarterback until super late in the second league, and I picked up Carr. No, just kidding, Goff. And I got him so late in the draft, and he did just fine, like throughout the entire year. So I'm the same boat. That's the same league. I got Henry and then Kelsey back to back first 2 picks.
Super flex is different though, Blaze, because just thinking back to the super flex I won. I ended up having, it was funny because you mentioned Mills. I had Mills as my my one that I rotated in for buys, and then it was I had Fields and Murray who I skipped running backs completely. Don't ever do that because it's a nightmare. But I ended up with Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Pittman Jr., and Amon-Ra as my receivers. So that they carried me through the whole entire season until Kupp got hurt. But I had
Kyler Murray sucks. Does anyone else notice that?
Kyler Murray put some numbers though.
I mean,
Yeah, he's a fantasy QB. He's not someone I want on my NFL franchise, but
no, Fields and Murray were awesome honestly in the super flex because it was like just points. I mean, Fields just with the running.
Yeah.
It was insane. But it was my receivers that if Kupp didn't go down, I would have just walked through the season.
I just traded
this.
for Kupp.
Y'all trying to bring some intelligence to the normal bottom right panel.
Sorry.
All right, you guys, calm down. All right, so let's go back. Let's go back down the list. Let's just let's hypothetically not say that we know who else is on the list. Let's just say if we think it's a little too high or a little too low. Okay. So Fields at 5. I think that's way too high.
I wouldn't say way.
Well, if you think of
Fields was having game-winning weeks last year.
The dude
Sure.
for 168 yards versus the Finns. I mean,
once.
But he had like 80 yards. He averaged like 80 yards a week rushing. The dude was sick.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
that's 8 points right there. If he scored the touchdown, that's 14 points. He doesn't even have to throw a pass.
And if they get him someone that can catch a pass, it's gonna be a difference maker.
So.
And a running back, if he had a check down running back, ooh, it would be different.
Number 7 rushing in 15 games.
And that's overall, I presume. Like,
yeah. And they didn't let him run to week 4, I think it was. He wasn't allowed to run.
Unbelievable. Lily, what you got?
It feels like too much of a gamble. Like, sure, you're going to have those games against Miami because, like, apparently everyone's going to have those games against Miami. But, like, the week in, week out, I don't want to be that stressed about who I'm starting at quarterback and trying to figure out what he's going to do each week.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with Blaze. If he gets like a true number 1, I may feel a little better about him being there. But like without a receiver, I can't say like I hope he runs a lot. Like I can't do that with my quarterback. I don't think. I don't like him that high. I can see the upside of him being there, but like
I have him at 8. I have an 8.5 in my rankings.
Between weeks 6 and up to week 16, he scored between 19 points and the highest was 42. And most of them were above in like the mid 20s. Then he had a 10-point game in week 16, which would have been painful if you were starting him as in your championship.
Yeah.
Well, I guess championships are week 17 now.
17. Yeah.
But then 17 points again in week 17. So
yeah.
Was he that volatile to start off the year? Yeah. He goes 14.5 points, 10 points, 7 points, 10 points. But then he really seems to get his legs under him. Kind of like what happened with Lawrence. Something just kind of clicked.
Yeah. Game
slowed down a bit for him. But a quarterback needs someone to pass to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit. A little bit.
Agreed.
A little
And
bit.
yeah,
Situationally.
if I just think if he had a running back there too that wasn't Montgomery, doesn't have to be a fancy running back, just someone that as he's rushing out gets a little bit open in the flats and can
Just
he can dish
someone
it
that
off.
can play football better than Montgomery. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
he
like
can
that.
dish it off, and I think he got McCaffrey Genesis. Yeah, that's the dream.
No, he was saying that he was just ahead of McCaffrey in rushing yards.
I see. Yeah, should have read the whole comment stream.
So next this is the crazy one for me. So I went down this list a few times. I mean, there's players that are a little higher than I thought they would be, sure. But Lamar Jackson at 6. I don't know about
Bought
that.
in.
I don't know about that. I am not picking Lamar Jackson
I like their coaching hires.
at all.
I'm bought in.
Is he going to be on the Ravens still?
Unclear.
I don't think so.
I'm leaning towards no. Also,
But do I care? Like, that's the thing is, do
how
I take him?
stoked are you if he goes to Atlanta?
Dude, if he goes to Atlanta and can team up with my boy,
No
first
no-
overall
don't mention the
quarterback
P
taken
word.
in the fantasy football draft, Lamar Jackson.
You're not
for
allowed
me.
to mention the P word.
Oh, okay.
No
I will
P word.
not. Kyle Yates.
Kyle rhymes with zits.
Yeah, if he goes there, I don't think that solves much for Atlanta. First of all, I would like him to go, like, to take him on my fantasy team. It would probably be better because he would just be running a lot on Atlanta's team. But I don't know. I think they're sort of the same as Baltimore, realistically. I mean, great tight end, one good receiver, just like Baltimore. Like,
Right. No running game.
Atlanta has a
Besides
decent running game, sort of.
right. Yeah, that Algier
Dobbins,
was terrible.
no, come
You're
on,
right.
come on. If Dobbins is healthy, he's absolutely filthy.
We've said that
Why
every
wasn't he
year
healthy?
because he's not healthy because he's
They,
not.
they totally, they
sucks.
totally would have wanted them to Marshawn Lynch him this year.
Oh my lord! But Algier and Cordell Patterson are both good. Like, I think they would be
talking
fine.
about Burrow if they handed the ball to J.K.
I think Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson's too high at 6. That's just me.
Yes.
He's definitely top 10 for me. I don't know.
Just
if
because of
he's
the
at
legs and
6.
what he can do.
If he stays in Baltimore, I'm all in on him.
You like it more if he's at Baltimore?
Yeah, I think Punkin and that scheme will make a lot of sense.
Oh yeah,
Um,
Munkin did go there.
It all depends if the front office is willing to pay him anywhere close to what he thinks he's worth.
Yeah, I mean, they just hired Taggart as the running backs coach there. That I think that offense is going to be structured in a way that's really beneficial to him. If he stays in Baltimore, I'm on board with him as a high fantasy choice.
Well, wasn't Kirk Cousins franchised 2 years in a row and ended up making like the second highest what a quarterback made in 5 years or something? I was reading.
Yeah, something
Because-
weird like that.
Yeah, it's so. I mean, he can make money even if he is franchise tag, but I don't know what's going to do with this.
I just think if he goes, like Lily's saying, if he goes anywhere besides Baltimore, you just don't know what to expect at all. It's completely random. And you picking him before the season starts is super questionable. But I mean, like, maybe if he stays there and like we sort of know what to expect. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. Next is Herbert. I like Herbert way over Jackson.
Yeah, I think Lawrence and Herbert are the only quarterbacks I would consider taking over him, though. Just kind of looking at that top 10 list.
Yeah, I mean, that's a
Like,
good point. We did talk about
that we
this
haven't talked-
frequently the last few weeks of the actual season, is that outside like the top 10, it bottoms out on skill level. Like, it is rough. And so, I
Yeah.
mean, I think your elite quarterbacks are right in that like top 8 range.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Top 8.
Yep.
Maybe if Watson can regain form there, you can see him coming back. But
Shake the whole world with a Deshaun Watson MVP next year. Oh my God.
well, I wouldn't go that far, especially using those terms. But yeah,
Shake them up. Shake up the media a little bit.
Yeah, I think he's better than Dak Prescott.
Who,
Dak.
yeah. Dak
Yeah, that's
is
feasible.
I will never put Dak on a fantasy team if you pay me to take him.
he can get 75 points and then 3 the next week. Like, That's just Dak Prescott for you. But I think he's the opposite. I think he's a better football player than he is a fantasy football player, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Like
So
most
we're
of
not
them
a-
are not, but
We're not a fan of Dak in the top 10.
no.
If you exclude concussion concerns, does Tua slot in there over top of him in the top 10?
Yes. I think so.
But you
I mean,
can't exclude concern. He's been injured. He's never played more than 13 games in a season. It's
Right.
never
Dude,
going to
the
happen.
dude's taking martial arts to learn how to fall.
I
That's
saw
He
that.
is a toothpick without a doubt.
he literally he is taking judo lessons right now. That's a
I
real
can't
thing.
remember the movie, but all I think of is I want to say it's like one of the original Scary Movie was the guy like does a fair catch and they just hit him and he gets cut in half.
Mm.
But
That's
yeah,
Tua.
that's Tua without a doubt.
No,
I
if
do
it's
like
not a
if
concussion, it's something else.
if we could say right now, 100% without doubt, Tua will play every game and not be injured. He's top 10 for me. Yes. Now
100%.
we can't
So
say
without
that,
even saying no injury, just heading into the season, he's healthy.
no,
All
absolutely
systems
not.
go. He's played in every preseason game.
No, I mean I can't take him because he's gonna die week 8. Like there's just no way you take him in. Like
So you're taking Daniel Jones over him.
Daniel Jones, no. No.
he
So
plays
I'm
every
looking at the
game.
list. I'm looking at the list too. I'm taking like Goff ahead of a lot of these people. That's just me. You got an electric receiver coming out next year that I've talked about a lot. You got Amon-Ra. You got Hawkinson now. Nope. Hawkinson's on another team. Regardless, you have weapons there. Where look at these next few, right? So you got Tua. Sure, he has weapons, but he perishes on the football field. We've seen it happen. Okay. We have Geno Smith. Okay, I might take Geno Smith over Goff, but I'm not taking Kyler Murray. His own team hates him.
You know what though? No. You know he. Mark my words. When he comes back, watch out. Just
No.
trust me on that. Watch out.
5'3", bro. Like, there's no way you take Kyler Murray.
Just trust me. It's going to be built around him. Just trust me.
Maybe.
It's gonna be built. It's gonna be tailor made to him. It's gonna be like watching him in college again, and he's gonna be happy. And you're gonna see him put up some crazy freaking numbers. Even though I think he sucks as a quarterback, whatever, he'll do it.
Tua finished with top passer rating in 2022. Health is too big concern. Maybe take him late rounds. That's me, right? So like you take him on the flip around, or when he gets hurt week 7 and someone drops him, you take him. So maybe you get him in the last few weeks. Something weird, but you don't draft him to start. I don't.
You don't draft him as your starting
No
quarterback.
way. I wouldn't. All right. So next we got Deshaun Watson.
We haven't. Okay, we're only on 10. My bad.
I mean, we went over Trevor. We added Trevor to the conversation. Trevor's listed at 8. I like him at like the 6 or 7 spot. I think Trevor is going to be nuts next year. But
Yeah, for me, I think Trevor and Justin are pretty equal to me. I'd tie them at 6, put Lamar behind them.
I would go exactly that. I like Trevor, Justin Fields, and then Herbert barely below them.
Does Herbert have a breakout year?
I think
I
Herbert
mean,
has the season that we were hoping that he would have this past season. Maybe not quite that elite season, but the Phillip Rivers-esque where you're happy he's on your team.
Okay. I can see
So
that.
what-
He's not like incredible.
4,500, 30 touchdowns.
Right. He's not losing games, but yeah.
He's not that top 3.
That being said, though, that OC that they got, Kellen, what's his face from
Moore.
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore from Dallas.
Yeah, they got
Yeah.
him, and he loves throwing that ball. So, and with Eckler there,
He played quarterback in college for the good old Boise State Broncos. They threw the ball a lot of times.
you
Yeah,
can
he
see
also
it.
know
They also like their trick plays.
That's true. That was before him. So all right, let's take the next 4 and let's all go around and say who we take. All right, so you have Daniel Jones or Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones. We'll skip Tua because he's useless. Kyler and Geno.
So I'll
Kyler.
be Kyler. Yeah.
You're
I don't
taking
know.
Kyler, Phoenix?
Yeah, absolutely, Kyler.
See, I think I'm going Daniel Jones there.
He had 15 touchdowns.
How many did he rush for?
Not many. 7, I think.
Yeah, I don't like him.
He's not good.
He has no team.
Well, I don't consider that a sexy pick, but
He had a 3, a 4, 2 5s, and a 6 as receivers.
see, to me at this point in the draft, like when I'm looking at these types of quarterbacks, I'm looking for the guy that's not going to lose me the game regularly.
Well, Kyler, because he's always chasing in the fourth quarter, is going to throw for 120 yards in the fourth quarter and get a gimme touchdown alone. That's
Yeah, but-
it's like that every week.
What was his injury? I'm just pulling that up. I can't remember.
Oh, he's gone. He's gone for next year anyway. So we really shouldn't even be talking about him.
7
Yeah.
rushing touchdowns for Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
missing a significant portion of the 2023
Yeah,
season.
he's pretty much done.
Okay, so
So
now
like that's why I'm going Daniel Jones. Like I said, he's not sexy. He's not gonna get you those 40-point games like Mahomes where he's gonna win you a game, but he's also not, in all likelihood, not gonna put up a dud game. Even when
a
Hurts,
receiver, I can agree with you.
but he rushes. He's the cheap version of Hurts, where he doesn't have that AJ Brown. He doesn't have.
did we just
Devonta
quote
Smith.
on our podcast that Daniel Jones is the cheap Jalen Hurts?
A poor man's Hurts.
The poor man Hurts?
Poor man's Hurts.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
So
nice
I
to
take
think
Kirk
everybody talked
Cousins
about him.
there. And the only
Yeah.
reason I take Kirk Cousins there is because Justin Jefferson is going to get the football. There's no way he doesn't.
Unless it's the last 5 weeks of the season.
Okay.
Jefferson.
You
Most
draft for the
overrated-
first
Most
4.
overrated wide receiver in history.
Oh my God. We're not starting with that again.
We're
just
talking
hate- I
about
just-
quarterbacks right now.
I just hate him. Sorry. I just hate him with a passion.
So you've missed this, Lily, but Phoenix doesn't like Justin Jefferson, not
Nope.
because he's not good at
Oh,
football,
no, he's great, but I
He's-
just don't like him.
and he just doesn't like him. Okay, so just keep that in mind. He
Team
doesn't
change.
like
Chase
him
is
as a
not case,
person.
baby.
I
Um,
understand that to my core. I mean, I don't have those feelings about him in particular, but like I'm sure I could come up with a list of players like that.
Yep. I don't deny he's talented. I just wouldn't pick him just out of principle.
Yeah, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
Mm.
Because Chase will be there, and I'll take Chase every day over him.
It's rough.
Yeah, but
It's rough.
I stick with
Let's
my
also
boy.
talk real quick. Let's throw it back to the national championship winning LSU Tigers had both of them.
Yep.
That's disgusting. It's and Burrow as the quarterback. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Justin
Thank you.
Jefferson.
That team underachieved without like
They were beating people by 40.
I know
And just,
it's
like,
silly,
hanging
like,
out.
look at it, and you're like that they really could have been better.
And Clyde Edwards-Helaire made it to the pros solely because he was on that team, not because of any skill whatsoever. Like just scooted on in. Like, come on.
Seventh round pick overtook him.
It's insane. All right, so next we got I'm going to talk a little bit about Jared Goff at 16. I think 16 is too low for Goff just because of the pure numbers he's forced to put up.
I would probably take Goff over Cousins.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that one.
So you're going all the way up to 10?
I would maybe consider taking him over Daniel Jones.
Okay, so you still like Daniel Jones more.
I wouldn't say
Goff
more,
over
that's just-
Jones.
Well, he's
Yeah.
gonna have a healthy Jamison too to open up the field a little bit. And Amon Ra is my boy.
Who
Amon
does,
Ra.
who does Edwards-Helaire play for, CFL or XFL?
Dancing with the Stars.
I just watched that.
He is the next Mass Singer.
That's awesome.
He didn't go to the
Yes.
Super Bowl parade. He went somewhere to like a fashion show or something.
That sounds about right. He won't play professional football next year. Actually, I mean, whatever. He could
Has
be like-
he played professional football ever?
No, no, he has not. I like Goff a lot. Healthy Jameson, maybe a healthy DeAndre Swift. who is very good at football. I like Goff there. But number 17, Trey Lance.
Pass.
Hard pass. Does he start in San Francisco? I'm going to go with yes.
Why don't we
Who?
just call it the
I
San
think
Francisco
so.
quarterback?
Who?
Trade.
Wait, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna tell you, don't do it.
Okay, so we don't like Trey Lance?
I
He's best there.
What was that?
I don't think he's the starter there.
Who starts? Brock Purdy delayed his surgery, so he's not going to start.
I don't know. I don't feel like it's him. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I'm just not feeling it.
Well, Garoppolo going to the Jets.
God, I'd pray for anyone going to the Jets. Those poor players.
yeah, Rogers is the only one that I'd like to see go there, just because he's got that experience playing in the winter. Like
I want
I think
Derek Carr there,
anyone
man.
coming from the West Coast, Derek Carr's never really played outside of domes.
Not only that, but I saw his record the other day on like playing in the cold, and it's just like awful.
Right.
Just the worst.
Yeah. So send him to Atlanta or New Orleans.
I don't want Derek Carr, bro. Mm-mm. Nope.
I don't like him either, but
He
he's
is better than Zach Wilson. Let's be real.
100%. But
Oh God, anybody.
that, it's just not a good fit for him.
Is that the bar we are setting for good court?
I'll take Josh Johnson over Zach Wilson. Call it in.
Let's real quick run through the fact that there is 45 quarterbacks on this list. We're gonna get to at least mention all of them, but Zach Wilson is not one of them. let's go ahead and talk about that. He's not even on the list. There's people. Malik Willis is on the
he's
list.
number 38.
Wait, oh, is he? Oh, he is. Oh man,
He's on the
Malik-
second page.
Malik Willis is on this list. I was about to say, and he threw for 18 yards in 7 games or whatever it was last year. Like-
Yeah, let's not make it past 33. I don't even know who 32 is. Okay.
32. Oh, I'll tell you who that is when we get there. Okay, so we
Oh,
got
he's a rookie. Okay.
he will
Yeah,
be
we
a rookie, yeah.
included the rookies.
So Russell Wilson, 18, right behind Trey Lance, which I
Russell
think is
Wilson's
a-
another one that I would probably bump up.
How
me
about the next
too.
four-
Push
how about
him
the next
into
four- how
that
about the next four we
Daniel
can pick?
Jones, Cousins tier. Might
Uh,
even be at the top of it for me. I don't know.
Wilson,
I absolutely love Sean Payton as a coach.
Yeah, I
I'm
think that's a
guilty
good-
that way. Heavily biased. I think
He has
that-
weapons
that
too.
guilty pleasures. I
Yeah,
love
yeah, that team was set up for failure with the coaching hire that it had there. Who was basically brought in so that Aaron Rodgers could theoretically be the coach, I think. But I digress there.
hmm So I think Russell Wilson obviously goes up too, in my opinion. I think he's higher than Geno. I think he's higher than Trey. I think he's higher than Kyler. I mean, he has weapons that we just didn't consider weapons this year because nothing happened. But I mean, I think he has Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton. Both are like decent football players.
Oh,
I don't know.
I like them both as breakouts next year.
You like what?
Don't you like Judy as a breakout next year?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were talking about that in private chat the other day.
Yeah, Judy's good. He runs great routes. He has great hands. Like he's a 2 or a 3 on other teams, but I mean he's a good player. Like, yeah, sure. I think he could be there.
Yeah,
Cortland
he's
Sutton's
like Amari Cooper.
Oh yeah, Javonte Williams is coming back. That's another
Roddy
good one.
White. He's a Roddy White.
Yeah. You got a decent team over there. Now I don't know how good they're gonna be, but I think he's definitely better than 18. Also, Aaron Rodgers at 19.
It's a tough one. I think Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay is definitely above Trey Lance, but below Geno Smith.
he's not going back to Green Bay. They already said he's not going back to Green Bay.
I don't think so either, but I mean, I'm not going to count that until it happens.
Did he come out of the dark room yet?
Yeah, he's been out of the dark room, I do believe.
Okay.
We haven't heard from him though. He's ghosting out of the dark room.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
hoping he was able to see his
to
food.
himself.
20, Matthew Stafford, way too high.
Agreed.
way too high. He had that year. Well, Cooper Kupp and OBJ had a year. Matthew Stafford was there, right? And he was just around, but I'm sure I could have thrown them the ball. I don't think it really matters who was there, but I don't think he's that good.
Neck injuries are always scary.
Look good for a while.
What was that, Lily? Your mic's cut. It was going.
Of course it is.
Okay.
I love Matthew Stafford. I just I don't think he's. I think we're past the prime and really gonna. It's not gonna.
It's all downhill from here with Matthew Stafford. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he put up stupid numbers.
Parts.
He what?
He has too many broken parts right now.
I mean, not only that, but he put up stupid numbers at Detroit. Like
He
we were
did.
looking back on it, and
He
it was
brought
like
those up.
outrageous when he had Megatron. But I mean, like, I think he's only trending down, and you don't want a quarterback, even if he's healthy going in. Like, I don't think you want a quarterback who's like on their last leg as your starter. But we were down to 20, so I don't think it's going to be many people's starter at that point. So, unless we do weird strats in fantasy where we pick quarterbacks the first 3 rounds to deny them from everyone else. Let's try that. New strat. Right below Matthew Stafford, we have Derek Carr and Kenny Pickett. Okay, I am questioning Kenny Pickett at 22.
I really like the Steelers offense as a good buy low next year.
Yeah, I like Pickett.
And I think George Pickens has a disgusting year.
I've been
I
yelling. I've been yelling Pickett for probably the last 2 months.
George Pickens will be like a top 10 receiver next year. I'm calling that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it depends who's.
We'll figure that out
Deontay still there?
later.
Later on. What does everybody think could be this year's Geno Smith coming out of somewhere to be big fantasy option? I actually think it's one of the 2 rookies. That's going to be my guess. Like, because I don't think there's anybody.
Which one of
on
the 2 rookies?
What-
2 rookies?
Yeah, Bryce Young or CJ Stroud. One of those 2.
Depends on-
Leaning more heavily on it being CJ Stroud.
Yeah, I think he's the best pure passer you could drop in there and just let him go.
He would be my, and that's just my perspective. I'm sure there's a lot of people who could go, but in my eyes, it's going to be those elite quarterbacks, and then it's going to be the quarterbacks who sit pretty mid, how they have been. I don't see any of those like mid-range quarterbacks exploding next year, but I do see someone new on the scene playing like fast, loose football. Someone like Stroud or Young that could put up like maybe not astronomical numbers, but numbers way higher than what they were expected to put up.
If he gets a chance, Winston could put up the numbers though, like a Geno. I think if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Winston.
Yeah, I think Mac Jones is like really on the verge of either figuring it out or really not, and he has not done much there that like would impress anyone. But I think with the coordinator change, it is one that I would not gamble on, but looks interesting. I feel like there's some potential there.
Well, I got 20 of his moments because I think he's going to do this. I think he's going to be the going up. So
we got Bill O'Brien, so
Yeah.
we got his old Alabama coach back.
yeah,
And a coach who traditionally has pretty good quarterback offenses.
Yeah. Are you talking about that one guy? That one guy, old Billy Belichick?
Well, Bill O'Brien ran the one under Bill Belichick as well previously.
Yeah, it's Billy Belichick.
Bill squared.
It's awful.
Jesus. But yeah, I think Mac's a good one. Who do you got blow it up, Blaze?
Well, Lily just stole mine.
Oh, okay, fair.
But
So you got to go with Garoppolo now.
Jordan Love. Say Jordan Love.
It's tough. Like, there's not really a lot there. I'd like to say Kenny Pickett, but I don't know if that kind of fits the question that's being asked. He's not really coming from nowhere per se.
Yeah. That's why I was saying, like, mine with the rookies, like, it doesn't really fit either because it's not someone who played poorly and then is going to blow up. But I
Or
just don't.
hasn't played in 8 years.
I don't really see that being anyone here. Like, it's not
No.
Stafford.
I like the Winston call, but I don't think he's going to get an opportunity
No,
anywhere.
I don't think he will either. But I think I think he is the one who fits the bill of that Geno thing. He benched, throws threw a lot of interceptions, but he's had some good moments and has some talent.
Well,
Yeah.
what about
That
Baker Mayfield then? Like
Baker-
his
yeah, that's a good
rookie
one.
season leaves so much on the table,
I want Baker
Just
to be good so bad.
Me too.
Same.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
God, me too.
but it's
I
not
just
going to
want him
happen.
be good.
But yeah,
Baker.
if I had to pick, that's one that I would kind of.
I also want
We'll
Johnny
see.
Manziel to make a comeback, though.
No, you don't. No, what? No one does. That's not true.
Dude, he
Um,
can make it in the CFL.
Maybe.
No, he couldn't.
Oh, yeah, that is true. He did try. He did try. I will say Baker would be the funnest probably, but I think everyone here agrees is like he just has so much heart. You want to like him. Like you
Yeah.
just love watching him play, but he sucks.
I
Like
can see that- I
realistically,
can
he's not
see
very
that he's
good.
Yeah, but he's a great teammate, though, it seems.
Look, so good. He's like like you would want to hang out with him.
I want to hang out with him. I don't care
Yeah.
what house. I don't care what one of his houses is in.
Yeah, you want to hang out with that guy. Like you want Baker to be your quarterback. You just
I want to have a beer
be
with Baker.
better at it.
I seriously love to have a beer with Baker. We should all do that. We should try, as a podcast, we should try and get a beer with Baker.
That's
should
like
be
the
our goal.
ultimate goal. Okay,
That's
fair
our
enough.
goal.
All right, I like it. All right, so let's go down the list even more. You got Mac Jones at 23. I think that's fair, honestly, but like I want it to be a lot higher.
I don't know. I think Lily's right though. He could be top 15 easily. And
Dude, that's it right there. What a
probably
great guy, but
deserved.
man, does he suck. That's exactly Baker. Just like,
So
man, I'm
sad.
so glad he's my quarterback. I just wish he was better at it. You know what I mean? Like
I'll root for him every week though, and I'll be like, "You can do it."
Like that game when he came in first game at LA and went and won that. Dude, America was happy. The whole world was
They
stoked.
stopped calling plays. He was just going, "You do this, you do this, you do that, and I'll throw you the."
You know,
ball."
he got in the huddle. He was like, "Hey, get open. You other guys, act like you're gonna get open. That's the whole play. Just go." Like that was it, and it worked. It was great. I loved it. But anyway, back to Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is fine at 23. I want him to be higher, but like that's just where he is right now. I think that's okay.
Yep.
Right? Like he could be 15. He could be 30. We don't know. Ryan Tannehill. I forgot that was a player. So that's a thing. That's not good. Baker was an instant legend. Fact. That's fact. What do you think, Blaze? What do you think about Ryan Tannehill?
There's not a lot there.
Not
to
a lot.
like.
No, when their offense is hand Derrick Henry the ball.
Right, and their only deep threat is gone. Treylon Burks, he looked all right. He had that one really nice catch in the last game of the season, I think it was, where he just got laid out and probably
when
got
he,
a
like,
concussion.
Caught it, and then got knocked out cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, there's some hope there, but I don't find it to be an inspiring pick. He's someone where in a single quarterback league, if I had punted the position entirely, you
You're
kind of settle for
You're
him.
gonna get somebody 12 places better than him anyway.
Yeah,
What?
right. Yeah, you're gonna get someone 12 places higher than him regardless. So like you don't have to worry about Ryan Tannehill. Yeah.
Sorry.
First round
You know
quarterback.
me and Matt.
Everyone think about the fact that man is a first round quarterback pick.
Oh, Tannehill? Where did he come
Uh,
from?
Texas A&M. He was a receiver.
Well, he played quarterback for like a year first.
Yeah, but he was mainly a
Yep,
receiver.
I know, but it was upsetting.
Well, Travis
and I'm
Kelsey was
still
mainly
not
a
over it.
quarterback. We don't
They
talk
put
about that.
seriously, the best comment I ever heard was Tannehill. They're like, he knew exactly where the receivers were going to be because he was a wide receiver. So we told him, just stand back there and throw it where you think you should be. And I'm like, it was a serious comment, and I was just shaking my head. I'm like, it actually makes sense.
Is,
Good Lord.
Yep.
All right, so my boy comes in at 25th. Bryce Young, rookie out of Alabama. I will say one thing. 25th, we're skating on it. Doesn't matter what the ranking is anymore. Just what we think the player is going to do at this point. I say right now, if he goes to the Colts, no, Young is going over Stroud. We already know that. So if Bryce Young goes to the Colts, he's really good first year. If he has Pittman, if he has Jonathan Taylor, if he has the whole team, he's good. If he goes almost anywhere else and starts, he's not.
He's got a little bit of Mahomes magic to him, though. That's
what he is.
That's
dude.
what makes him good. He's undersized. He's like Drew Brees. He's like Drew Brees sized, but he's got a little Mahomes magic to him, though. He just somehow finds his way out of that backfield no matter what happens and finds the open guy in stride. It's crazy.
Well, he is like Mahomes in a sense. Like, is he going to be as good as Mahomes? No.
But he's got a little bit of that magic, though.
But he does. He not only gets out of like situations, but even once he gets out, he's not looking to run. He's always looking down the field to throw the ball. And he's very accurate.
In stride, too.
Yeah.
Not like just finding the open guy and like he falls down. He finds the guy who adjusted his route and is taking off. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's good.
It's insane.
I think if he goes to the Colts, he has a really good season to start. I think he could be like a late bloomer in the fantasy world where you like pick him up in the season at some point. If he goes to the Colts, do you draft him first? Absolutely not. But
I want any quarterback that's a rookie that goes to the Colts.
Yes, correct. That's what I was about to say. If CJ Stroud went there, which he won't because they've already said they like Young more, I would take Stroud over Young. It's the exact same thing.
He's going to put up numbers faster, I think. Bigger numbers faster in chunks.
Yeah, because he's more of the true like
drop back
gunslinger quarterback. Yeah,
he ran in the bowl game, but he's not a running.
But they were saying in the bowl game, why is he running? Like we know he's not.
But you realize he is a smart quarterback because he actually ran well and when he should have.
Well, he's athletic. I mean, he's super athletic.
Yeah, I mean,
way more mobile than anyone was thinking.
Yeah, he was. He was electric.
The stadium.
Oh yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
I was under the impression he was not a mobile quarterback, and I was wrong.
So in that game when Ohio State lost to Georgia, inevitably at the end, he was by far the best football player on the field, not even remotely close. And you could see that. Like you could see the whole game. I'm not blaming it on an injury. His top receiver did go down, and he didn't have his better receiver throughout the whole year. He lost a lot of talent, and it didn't matter. He was so good that there's no way it doesn't transition over to the NFL. He's huge. He plays super quick, and throws the ball on an absolute rope. I don't see why. I mean, I think if he goes to the Colts, he has a bigger year than any other quarterback here. But again, I think it's that same struggle. It's like if he goes to the Texans, he doesn't get anyone that can help him. And that's the same with Young. Like, it's just that pick, I think. The Colts have the setup for a quarterback. And I think whoever they take has the biggest year out of all the rookies. So Sam Howell at 26.
No.
He could be the best quarterback in Washington.
Is he starting next year? Do we know?
I think they want him to. It'd be stupid not to at least try it if you're going to go that route. And you're not going to pick up another quarterback, but I see them picking up somebody and getting rid of somebody. Because Heineke hasn't worked. Wentz and Howell.
Is done, isn't he?
Got to go with Howell.
Yeah.
Because you pulled Heineke too many times, and you can't keep doing that to him.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of. I mean, how many times did he start and it's like, okay, yeah, you play a game or pull him. Then he get pulled in like the middle of the third quarter or something last year, and just in the middle of nowhere, which is like you're not doing enough. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And he was just done. So if you're gonna you drafted Howell, if you're gonna go that route and stick with what you got to go with them. I see them picking up somebody. I could see like them doing something like stupid and grabbing Carr or something. It's Washington.
I mean,
it's also they also have the enemy now though. So they may get a big name quarterback and see if they could, ride that Mahomes magic.
The enemy didn't even call any of the plays in Kansas City. He was offensive coordinator, didn't call the plays, so it's not going to matter. I think we just round out these. I'll read some names. Let's see if we think anybody is higher or lower than we think they should be, or just might have a year that we're surprised by. So CJ Stroud's at 27. I think we know he could be good, but who knows where he ends up. Garoppolo and Purdy back to back. I don't think we expect anything from either of them. Am I correct there? Okay. Nothing. No. Jordan Love.
I mean, if Aaron Rodgers didn't succeed in that offense, what do you really expect from Love, who's played 2 games?
Yeah, I don't think
I'm not
Love's
saying
any-
he. Yeah,
Yeah,
not saying
he's what you're going with. He's not.
Was he any good?
he's Schrodinger's quarterback right now. He could be amazing. He could be garbage.
Yeah, for sure.
What was he good to begin with though?
We don't know.
I don't know.
We don't.
No,
No
I
one
mean,
knows.
I mean, in college, was he good?
Played at Utah State.
Yeah,
I'm
You
saying
can't-
that. I mean, was he good?
I mean, he was good for playing at Utah State.
Exactly.
Like that's we don't know. Like
Watch
it's
a lot of their games, unfortunately. It just
yeah, they weren't
didn't
on
get
air
there.
often.
I
Like,
do
they-
like when a quarterback has to sit behind an elite quarterback and theoretically learn from them, but that's all theory because how much of that quarterback skill is like innate and not
Well, and
through
Aaron Rodgers
practice.
isn't like sitting around trying to help out a rookie.
No.
I don't know.
It's also this. It's also the thing is like we compare that a lot. Like yeah, sitting behind an elite quarterback coming up, like we did Bledsoe to Brady, but Brady was good. He played at Michigan. Like we know that that's a different story. But like we were saying, Jordan Love came out of Utah State. We don't even really know if he was good before.
That's what I was questioning. Was he even? Is he? Do you know what you even have with him?
No, I don't think so. I mean, they must. They drafted him. Like I mean, they must have some idea. But like, whatever. I mean, the Tennessee Titans also drafted Malik Willis out of Houston or wherever he came
No.
from.
Yeah, but there's
but
different
no,
fraud
you always say
franchises there.
Liberty.
Yeah,
That's it.
He was at Auburn before that. Was it at Auburn or Arkansas? One of he'd been around.
But I mean, his stats came from Liberty, like where they threw it 745 times.
Well,
a game.
we're gonna talk about a guy in a minute who didn't put up good stats. Who I know Roy and I think is going to be elite.
The Woods did get released from the Titans. Yes, now they're relying on good old Treylon Burks as their number one receiver. That is a fact. And it's all right. You can be late. It's fine. It's totally fine. Desmond Ridder at Atlanta. Just save all of us because he either isn't going to play or he's going to be terrible at it. One of the two things. That's it. He got carried by his defense in college, and then they just thought he was good somehow. I don't really know how that happened. Wait, Carson Wentz got released? We were just talking about that guy. What do you mean wonder where he's going? There's no way he plays for anyone. Is Carson Wentz good enough to still play?
I imagine he gets a backup role somewhere if he wants, but
Yeah.
Atlanta will probably take him.
yeah, right.
Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would. I can tell you that right
Like
now.
their whole thing.
Bring Matt Ryan back as your third string.
Yeah, and he's like 45 years old or something ridiculous. Let's see who else we got. Will Levis, that's the quarterback coming out of Kentucky.
Not a good quarterback.
I don't think he's a good quarterback either, but I've seen
no,
like
I'll
his
agree.
I've seen his combine tape, and he can sling the rock. If he can develop a little bit under somebody.
Right into a defensive player's hands.
Yeah, he does do that quite often. Yeah. Yeah, I actually I saw some Twitter posts I jumped in on the other day where they were like, look at these were 8 of his interceptions dropped by his receivers and all that stuff. And they were all behind them or just right to the defender. Like it was bad. But yeah, I don't think Will Levis is, they say he's going to go top 5. I don't know what that
He's
means.
going to have to be first overall before this season. I don't get that.
No, he's not that good. So we have Jameis down there. Who is New Orleans starter? Is it him?
Dalton.
Oh, it's Dalton?
Yeah, and Taysom Hill. They we're splitting reps at the end of the year.
That good old tight end split. Oh man.
They'll never see it coming.
Hey, wait, oddly enough, it worked all right.
It did.
No, Taysom when he was on the field, he averaged like 7.7 yards a play or something.
You needed him in
like that.
every challenge ever in NFL all day. I swear.
Okay.
Like if he could be in it, he was.
40-yard touchdown run.
So weird, dude. Baker at 34. I would like to see him higher than that. I don't know how he doesn't start for Los Angeles. Like
I imagine he ends up being their starter. Yeah.
yeah, so like he's obviously going to be way above Stafford, who they have at 20 because he would play.
Or
But-
Stafford comes back and they're whispering to Mayfield Baker, "Don't worry, he'll be in by game 2."
Yeah. We have Anthony Richardson
AR
coming out
15,
of
maybe.
coming out of Florida. I think he's better than people.
Yep.
I think with put him on the Raiders and let him have Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs.
He's Cam Newton. He's basically like Cam Newton, but a little bit. I think he's better.
Way faster.
So I'm not saying he's bad, but like just from a snap count standpoint, is he even ready to play this year? Like, I mean, he's not spent a lot of time on the field.
That's because his team is absolutely.
Oh, I'm aware. I
Yeah.
just think, like, is he better off being at a team
Yeah,
where he spends
that's
more
that is
time?
worrisome. It almost brings in the Trey Lance comparison though too,
Yeah.
with how much time he actually spent.
So
Really?
in my eyes, this is what I think about Anthony Richardson. We haven't seen a lot from him. His team was terrible, so you didn't get much. He had no weapons at Florida. I mean, Florida normally has like at least someone that is, Kyle Pitts, right? They have someone that can carry the load. Anthony Richardson was the only someone they had. I just think he's an absolute freak athletically
He is.
and could do well with a team of other NFL.
He's got to be on the
football
He's got to be on
players.
the right. He's got to be on the right team. He's got to be developed correctly, and he can. I think he has a chance to be.
And also, they have to do what they don't let rookies do. They have to let him go right away. They have to let him run. They have to let him open. Like they have to open the field for him. They have to do everything. If they try to like drop him back and have him throw the ball, he's just gonna look terrible. That's not what he does.
I mean,
Like,
I also think though, like especially talking about it this year, is he's going to make mistakes because he hasn't had to make a lot of those decisions. And when you put him in a position at Florida to make decisions, he made mistakes, and none of them were egregious. They were just things you do when you haven't spent enough time, feeling out the moment. And I think you're going to see a lot of interceptions and stuff like that, sacks taken this year if he starts, which makes him, a bad fantasy option. But I think long term, he's got a ton of potential.
Yeah, he's got all the tools and in the cupboard, but someone needs to actually teach him how to use them.
now,
Put them in the mixing bowl, you might say.
Whatever.
oh, I like that. So, now making its appearance at
Now I want-
37th overall.
now I want butter biscuits. Thanks.
Making his appearance at 37th overall behind 3 rookies and 4 backups is Carolina's first quarterback, Sam Darnold. Now, Carolina is going to suck.
He won me a fantasy week this year.
He didn't. I don't care. Someone
He did.
else did.
He won me my championship.
He
I'll
was
never-
in
I'll never
during your
forget- I'll never forget
championship.
him for that one game.
What went wrong in your life that you got there?
So Sam Darnold, Carolina is going to be terrible. I can't think of a worse team to be on right now. And that's fine because there's no one on that team. Like it doesn't matter.
Is Foreman still going to be there, or is he gone?
It doesn't matter. I don't think. Like they have Chuba Hubbard.
Oh, come on. Foreman's the best running back on that team.
Name a defender on their team. Nope. You can't.
The last one I can name is Luke.
Kuechly. Yeah.
They have a pretty good secondary.
Yeah, name their best cornerback.
Well, sometimes players work best as a team.
Oh,
Oh
yeah,
my God, yeah.
they work best. They work
Yeah,
best if they
yeah.
stay anonymous. If you just don't know them, they're better. Is
If
Josh
ever.
Norman back there? I don't know, dude.
I
Yeah.
think they did sign him at the end of the year.
Did they?
not even
Brian
joking.
Burns.
Yeah, Brian Burns, and then they have another one too.
But I mean, like, they're gonna have a rough ride.
I
What
think
is-
they're a team
what-
that's actually just like short a quarterback.
Wait, they don't have a
I-
receiver, do they? Or do they still have DJ Moore?
They still have DJ Moore.
Okay, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. He's also the dude that did the excessive celebration to lose a game to Atlanta, and I'll always remember
Yes.
that.
Yeah, never be forgotten.
Yeah, just always a bummer.
Lost me a parlay.
I mean, their backs aren't terrible. They do have DJ Moore, sure, but like, what was their record last year? Can
Their
anyone,
O line is pretty beastly too.
can anyone give me their record real quick?
They almost made playoffs. Is the answer to that.
So they
They're
should have
second
should
in
have
the
threw a
NFC
little
South.
bit.
Just remember what division they're in.
Oh yeah. So what was their overall?
I think
7
there are
and
2
10.
games. Yeah.
7 and 10. Okay, so they're
Yeah.
like mid of the pack draft. See,
If they
they
had-
could be someone looking to get AR-15.
That's what I mean. Yeah, if they get that
Ooh.
quarterback that
Yeah.
inspires that offense a bit.
That'd be
'Cause-
Cam Newton too.
Yeah, that's where Cam went. Put him in there. Like let's let him and that's the thing too, is that's a great point, Blaze. Is like that's I think what Richardson needs is that quarterback that's how he'll do his best. If they put him on a team and say, like, this is your team to make better.
Well, they did
I
that.
think
to Jimmy
that's
Clausen.
what
They did that to Jimmy Clausen. He won 3 games.
You always
and
bring
was
up
out of the
Jimmy
league, basically.
Clausen, whoever the hell that is. And did he play for Notre Dame or was he the
Yes.
Tennessee
Fuck
one?
yeah.
Okay. So the
I still have,
Tennessee
like,
one is
100
who
of
I
his-
always think
100
of.
of his high school rookie cards, and they need to be worth something someday.
What's really funny about that is I just knew he played for Notre Dame because Phoenix likes him. That's it. That's the only reason. So
Sorry.
terrible. All right. Let's see. We got Zach Wilson. He's not going to play football, so that doesn't matter. Irrelevant.
Should I
Matt
be-
Ryan. Also, I don't think Matt Ryan plays, right?
I hope he signs as a backup somewhere as a mentor sort of thing to a young quarterback.
He won an
I-
MVP.
Right. He's got some playoff success in his past.
Remember when they used to call him Matty Ice?
Yep. All the way up till last year.
And now we call him Matty Longneck.
That's Zach Wilson's mom. Or anyone who wondered.
Yeah, that story is still
Questionable.
somehow the most BYU thing to ever come out of BYU.
Oh my lord. Andy Dalton. Nope.
No.
Davis Mills is the first Houston quarterback. I think that's just assuming Houston takes a quarterback, right? Is that why we put Davis Mills so low?
Got to,
Yeah,
you
well,
think,
yeah,
but
that's why they
I
have
think-
Bryce at 25.
Yeah, and
Stroud
CJ
at
at 27. Yeah, that makes sense. Jarrett Stidham at Las Vegas. I think, okay, I'm going to go out on a crazy limb here. I think Jarrett Stidham is far better than a lot of people think he is.
He is. He's good. He could throw. He's a guy who could throw for, like, honestly 4,500 yards and 30 touchdowns, but he'll have 20 picks.
No, that's the thing is I think like if they
He's
end
the-
up somehow crazy
He's
having
Jameis-
him as their
he's
starter.
basically- He's Jameis Winston when he had the big seasons, and he threw like a pick and a half a game.
Jared
But he can
Stidham
still
to
throw-
me.
the dude's got a fucking cannon.
No, the thing about Jared Stidham with me
I just
is
swore. Sorry.
if Vegas, I did that. I did the bad thing. If Vegas ends up with him as their quarterback, I don't think it's like. I think people will be like, "Oh my god, why didn't they get like?" I don't think it's that bad.
No, he could sling it. He could
That
definitely.
bad relative to Carr, sure. But
He's
Well,
better than Carr.
what did he do in that start this year? Didn't he throw for like 360
Yeah.
yards and 3 touchdowns?
yeah, that's because there's 0 tape on him. He'll get figured out.
I think Jared Stidham is better.
Well,
than
don't forget,
Carr.
he was a Belichick guy too.
Name one quarterback other than Tom Brady who's had success outside of the Belichick system.
Jared Stidham.
No.
Okay.
Matt Castle 1 year when you, I think, and that's a stretch. But I'll wait. We can stay all night while we delve into that.
Also, I can't remember when Brady wasn't playing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was
Vast majority of my
9
life.
years old almost.
Right. So it's really hard for me to think back and be like, who before? Like it's Brady and then nobody, right?
No,
So,
but like it doesn't have to be. It could be a guy that Belichick has drafted, groomed to be the Brady heir apparent, and then has
No,
left.
That was Stidham.
Nobody, yeah, that
Stidham,
was Stidham.
Garoppolo,
oh
Matt
yeah.
Castle behind them. Like
What's wrong with Garoppolo? What has Garoppolo done that everybody hates him?
I think
I don't
when your
know.
team when your team only lets you throw 3 passes in a championship game. Yeah.
Well,
that
that's the
doesn't
thing, though. I
actually-
mean, you really don't know what Garoppolo is or what he would have done if they actually let him play.
They almost let Brock Purdy, who didn't have any tendons in his elbow, throw as many passes as Garoppolo.
They had serious
Yeah,
conversation
weird.
of making Christian McCaffrey the starting quarterback over him.
Desperately
Right.
wanted that to happen.
Yeah,
Everyone
was
wanted
so
that to
excited.
happen.
Yeah.
Like what has Jimmy Garoppolo done so wrong that they're just like, I know you're a pro quarterback, but McCaffrey's got it. Like what is he?
Well,
is
they
he
didn't
that
even
bad?
dress. They didn't dress him that game.
Well,
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo, I think
He's beautiful.
Well, no, but,
I mean-
and that goes to the fact that he gets floor seats at the Lakers games all the time because he's beautiful. I mean, that's a guy you want like quarterback in your team because he just looks good.
Yeah, so he's a Jets quarterback for sure.
Honestly,
on.
that's a phenomenal point.
Spot on.
Also, I wouldn't hate that. Like, what is
Yeah,
Jimmy
no,
Garoppolo's?
He's
career
another
stats?
quarterback that's never played in cold weather.
But also,
Not
I
interested.
don't think anybody knows if Garoppolo is actually decent or he isn't. No, I don't think anybody really knows this.
He's a guy that he might actually like in this. If you took New York, that team, and put them in California, he might have success because they have the good running back to take pressure off of him.
Wait till you see where Brees Hall's ranked on our running back rankings.
We will get to that next week, everyone.
That's going to be the most interesting one.
So fun. But yeah, I think that's everyone. I mean, I think we're in agreement. You have the elite 4. That's, I mean, Allen, Mahomes, Hurts, Burrow. I put them as a way above everyone else, right? So like, if you're not getting one of those 4, you can wait a while and be fine. Like, I would reach for Mahomes. I would reach for Burrow. I don't even think I would reach for Allen or Hurts that much. Once Mahomes and Burrow got off the board, I'd probably try to grab them pretty quick. But then after that, you can go back to like not picking quarterbacks for a minute. if you want.
Herbie and Lawrence a few rounds later.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to snag them in the same round as those other 4 by any means, I don't think. Because worst comes to worst, you get Trevor Lawrence, who I think is good. Like, I think that's fine. So if you're in like an 8 to 12 man league, you get one of those 4 or you wait a while. You pick in between after that. So I think that's pretty good for quarterbacks. We didn't talk a lot about NFL all day today, but I think that's fine. I like our fantasy lineups. And that, I mean, if you think about it, that's going to be your big quarterbacks in all day as well going into the season, right? Like those are going to be the ones you're going to want to have.
I stacked the Max and Pickett's.
Stacking Mac Jones. Dude, Mac Jones just going to go off this year?
They need a wide receiver.
He could. Yeah, they definitely need a wide receiver.
Do they have a decent pick?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Because they could get, according to how far JSN falls from Ohio State, he would be wonderful in that setup. They should be like mid pack too. They didn't make playoffs, right?
No,
No.
They missed the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they should be in the like 15 to 18 range. I don't know if he falls that far. Highly doubt it. But if he did, that's where they would go, I'm sure. But all right, guys, anybody got anything wonderful to say? Are we done for today? We're going to have some big changes coming up. Gonna make everything look a little more pretty. Do a little fun stuff. So
We're gonna Garoppolo it up.
Garoppolo it up. Jimmy it up.
Get it? Garoppolo.
Get Jimmy.
Garoppolo it up.
Jimmy it up. We do have a winner for our standard all day pack. This will be the last time we announce it on the show. Just letting you guys know. So if you win the Twitter contest each week, make sure to follow our Twitter. It will be down in the description down there that way. If you win that weekly, just watch out for a message on Twitter. We'll be sending it out to you to name the winner. We did say we were going to announce it on live today, so we will. And it is at Chris Bosa 88. Chris Bosa 88 was our winner for today. And we will we'll be giving that thing away. How did we not know what? How did you not know that? How do I not know what?
How beautiful Garoppolo was?
Maybe that. I don't think that's it. But yeah, so we'll be back Wednesday. A lost Bosa brother. Yeah, it's just the next one.
Yeah, but which one does he take after? Is he
Whiny baby Bosa or really awesome at football Bosa? Well, I guess they're both really good at football, but whatever.
one of them's chill. One of them has no chill.
That is very true. All right, guys. Well, we are out of here. We'll catch you next time and have fun.
Cheers.